Hey everyone, and welcome to another songwriting tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to instantly jazzify your chord progression. To start, I have prepared a very basic project in Hookpad with a very simple chord progression. This is basically just a 1, 6, 2, 5 progression, pretty standard, and just like a dummy melody with a scale over it. Sounds like this. Yeah, and here I have just duplicated it so that we have, in the end, we have this as a reference, and the same chord progression will be modified to sound a bit more like jazz in the end. So the easiest way to add more jazz to our chord progression is to select all chords and instead of basic chords, use 7 chords. And now, instead of this, we already have this. Sounds a lot more like jazz to me. Next, I'm going to swap out this chord, the 5 chord, with its tritone substitute. And I'm going to explain what it is in a moment. First, let me show you how to do this. So, as this is the 5 chord of the 1 chord, yeah, the 1 chord is basically our key. This is the 5 chord of our 1 chord. So we can also write this as a secondary chord, namely the 5 chord. Here, 5 chord, but not of the 5 chord, but if I click on 1 with the 1 chord. So basically, this is the same chord here. And every time you find a 5 chord of some other chord, you can click the tritone substitution button here, and it will perform a tritone substitution for you. So let's see how this sounds. Very much jazzy to me. So what is a tritone substitution and how does it work? Before we get to this, let me just explain the simple mechanism of a cadence from 5 to 1. So in every 5-1 cadence there are happening 3 things. We have a root note, G, resolving to 1. We have a 7th note, 7th scale degree, also called the leading tone, leading to the 1st scale degree, our home bass. And we have also, if we have a G7 in this case, a 7th chord, we have the 4th scale degree leading or resolving to the 3rd one. And this is how it sounds together. Yeah, you can say it's a bit like tension and release. And inside this G7 chord here, we have a diminished 5th interval, which sounds alone in solo, just these 2 notes like this. Pretty dissonant, but if you resolve it to a major 3rd, it makes sense. Let me show you one more time. And now the great thing about a diminished 5th interval is that if you lower the notes, both notes, by a diminished 5th, we will have the same notes again. So if I lower this by 6 halftone steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can see I'm at the other note. It's exactly the same note now. And if I lower it 6 halftone steps again, I'll be at the original note again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have an F again. Let's pitch it up by an octave, and we have the same 2 notes as before. And the tritone substitution is nothing else than taking our 5 chord here and lowering it by 6 halftone steps, or a diminished 5th. So let's check it out. Let's take this note and go down 6 halftone steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then also this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And also this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then create the octave again here. And the same is basically happening when I click our tritone substitution button. I get a D flat chord. And now the reason why this D flat 7 chord, which is totally out of the key of our home bass C major, why this chord works and sounds actually good is that it has the same diminished fifth in here that we previously had at our 5 chord, our G7 chord. Here's again the version with the substituted version. And now let's go back to the original one. Just have to adjust this note here. So you can hear it works, and both the 5 chord and its substituted version have the same musical function. It creates some tension, which resolves beautifully into a stable 1 chord, using the same 2 notes, F and B in our case. So now that we know how a tritone substitution works and why, let's try it out also at this position here. Let's first use a secondary chord. And we need the secondary chord, we need the 5 of the 2, so let's press 2 to get the 5 of 2 and click the substitution button. And now we have like a very beautiful jazzy chord progression here. And some of you might already have spotted the beautiful chromatic root note line here from E flat to D to D flat to C. Let's just take this one step further. So we have E, E flat, D, D flat and C with a 7th note. This already sounds pretty jazzy for me. But let's take it one step further and add a jazz band. So we press B to open the band browser and click on jazz. And the other thing we need to do is add some swing timing here. I think this already sounds great, but we can take it one last step further and adjust the melody, or more specific, the rhythm part of the melody, to have it even more sound like jazz. So I think for me jazz is more like 8th note based with all the swing 8s and a couple of long notes in it. So let's try to do the same here. Select all those notes, press J to create 8th notes, and then just move them here to there, and then 1, 2. Let's do the same here. This one has to go there. This one has to go there. This one has to be an 8th note again. And then let's start this note at an offbeat. And we'll have a nice jazz melody. So now let's hear the whole song one more time, and I'll play it from the start, so you will hear our original pop version and the jazz version after it. And you will notice that although we already have a jazz band here, using jazz chords and a bit more of a jazzy melody will sound much more like jazz than our original pop version. And that's how you jazzify your chord progression.